and to give you all some insights into what we plan to accomplish with your help and with the wider community in 2023. Before we get started, just a couple of logistical things. Most folks are on mute, so thank you very much. Please stay on mute unless you want to ask a question, just so we don't have the occasional barking dog or other kind of interruption. And I hope it's okay with everyone, but we've decided to record this session so that we can put it up on the web for anyone that couldn't actually make it to the open house in the moment, so they can look at it after the fact. And today we'll be talking about, who is the foundation, just for newly joined members of the community. Really briefly, we'll introduce ourselves, the board of directors of the foundation, go through some of the highlights of 2022, and then we're going to drill deep into a couple of the main big marquee events that we are working on in 2023, as well as to give a general overview of other activities that we have planned for the coming months. So let's start off with, let's see here. Good. Okay, so it's the basic agenda: year in review for 22, overview of 2023, and at the end we have a good chunk of time set aside for Q&A from the community. And as you're thinking of questions during the open house, you can either jot them down and then ask them verbally at the end during the Q&A session, or you could put them directly into the chat of the session, and we'll keep an eye on that and address the questions as they arise during the Q&A session. So just briefly, we're going to introduce ourselves, the board of directors. We are an international group of volunteer parents, and we founded the foundation some time back, and we have been steadily building out our capacity. I think there's a slide for each of us. And I will speak for the individual folks that can't make it today. So Adam Geller is co-founder and co-president along with me. And Adam and his family live out in California, and his daughter Ayla is now 17. She's pictured there in the tie-dye shirt as a Foxy. And this is me and my family. I live in North Carolina in the United States, also co-founder, co-president. And I'm the father of Jonah over here on the right, and my daughter Sadie, 18 and 16 respectively. And then I'll let each of the other members that are online introduce themselves as we go through these slides really quickly.
Sure. So hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kate Mowry. I am vice president of the International FOXP1 Foundation. I live in Chadsport, Pennsylvania with my husband, Adam, who's also on the board and will be introducing himself. We have two sons, Crawford and Sydney, and Crawford is 6 and he is our Fox.
Yes, hi, I'm Adam, also live in Chadsport, PA, and I am the treasurer of the foundation. And yeah, like Kate said, we have two boys. Crawford is 6, Sydney is 4, and happy to be part of the board and part of the foundation.
Chris?
Sorry, just unmuting there. Hi, Chris Sullivan, the Treasury, the Foundation Secretary. My wife and I are the parents of Haley, who's now 19. Yeah, we got our diagnosis not too long ago, maybe a year before the foundation started, and been there with this crew since the beginning. And yeah, happy to be a member and happy to share all our progress with everyone on the call.
Hi, I'm Gail, and Gail Clark, and my husband, we have 2 sons. Daryl Clark is our youngest. He's now 36, and our older son is 39. And Daryl was, we got the diagnosis about 3 or 4 years ago, and we live in Ottawa, Canada. And besides being on the board, I like to maintain the website, and with a bunch of the parents for coordinating the family gathering. So really love to be participating and helping this group grow.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm also a board member. We have 4 girls, and Amelia is 5 years old. She's being held by her father. And I am also helping with the conference, as well as helping with fundraising, and happy to be on the board.
Oh, and Cheryl could not make it today, but Jürgen, you're here, right?
Correct, I'm here. I'm Cheryl Tuspent, and we live in Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas, and we have 3 children, and Christopher and middle with the head on is our FOXP1.
Hi, I'm Susan Cardillo, and I have a granddaughter, Ayla, who's shown with me in that lovely picture, who's 17 now. I live in New York, they live in California, and I've been involved as a volunteer and with whatever I could do for, since the founding of the foundation. So you see my name around doing a lot of different things.
And then I believe Amy could not make it. She is our communications guru. She's part of the board and a volunteer in this sense, and she sends out those monthly newsletters and maintains other communications for the community. All right, so let's move into the first main topic, just giving you all an update on what we accomplished in 2022. And we'll start off with an overview, and I'll hand this over to Kate to walk through this slide.
Sure. So 2022 was busy for us. We have been maintaining all of the relationships that we built when we first became a foundation. For example, NORD. Our membership has continued to increase. We're up to 258 that have signed up on our website. And we're hopeful that people will continue to share the information. We have a website now, as I'm hoping all of you have seen at this point. And that was done by Anthem Marketing, which is actually our sister-in-law's marketing company, and she was kind enough to do it pro bono. So we're really thankful for that. She came up with the trademark that we have. Last year we trademarked it, and so it is ours. We've been continuing with our monthly Zoom chats, which I know a lot of you, I recognize a lot of the names on here. I've been really grateful for that opportunity to speak with all of you. We do it on the third Saturday of every month, around 3 o'clock, usually around this time. And it's really just a time for parents, grandparents, friends, actual foxes to get on, speak to each other, reflect, empathize, talk about what our struggles are, and then also talk about ways in which we can deal with the struggles that we're going through and what's worked for, one of our foxes and may work for others. It's been a really great experience. We've had a couple of presentations on those. We've had speech pathologists, an ABA specialist, a genetics counselor, and a nutritionist. We would love to do additional presentations if people are interested. So ideas are always welcome. Please reach out to us. Our information is on the website.
And Kate, could you just remind the team here, or the folks, when is the typical, what's the cadence for the meeting and the typical time slot?
Yep, so it's the third Saturday of every month at 3 p.m. Eastern United States time. Unless we can switch that up depending on what people want, but that's when it typically is. And it happens for about an hour. Sometimes it goes longer, sometimes it's shorter, and you don't have to be on right at the beginning. You can always join late if you happen to be busy at 3 o'clock. It's just a time to all catch up. Carl, does that answer it?
Yeah. Yes.
So in addition to monthly Zoom chats, we've also started our monthly newsletters. If you haven't already, please sign up on our website. It gives you an idea of what's going on, what fundraisers are going on, information about the parent conference coming up. And if you have anything you want to post, please reach out to us. We're happy to post, articles about our foxes, and we'd like to do that more as we grow. As I said, we've maintained our membership with NORD, which is National Organization of Rare Diseases. They're a great resource for us. They have a lot of funding opportunities. They're also sponsoring Rare Disease Day, which is February 28th. So everyone, show your stripes is the theme this year. So if you could post about your child with a rare disease, it's really to raise awareness. We have also teamed up with RareX. You'll hear about that more today. And some of our members have joined a Simon's Searchlight group so that we can maintain our ties with Simon Searchlight. They are a registry that we also want to make sure we maintain communications with. We've established a scientific advisory board, which is huge. You'll hear about that a little bit later. We've had several successful fundraisers. We've done a 5K. We've sold bracelets, and we're raising money through sponsors for our parent conference. We've been tracking grants, and we've applied for one so far. We are looking for expertise in grant writing. If anyone has done them before, would like to help with any, is aware of any, we would love for volunteers in that regard. So please reach out if you do have any interest in that. The Facebook group continues to grow. I think there's about a little under 1,100 members. And then the International Fox Foundation itself now has a Facebook page, as well as an Instagram and Twitter accounts. So if you haven't, please look for us in all of those locations. We've done other things too, but those are the top highlights.
Thanks, Kate. And Gail's going to take us through highlights of the ambassador program specifically.
Sure. So the ambassador program is a means, they're individuals in 11 countries. We have 14 ambassadors. Some countries are so large, we have 2. For example, in the States, there's 2 ambassadors, and there's 2 for Holland, the Netherlands. So they are the point of contact to help the new families and the Fox families in their country to find funding, to look at research, to look at establishing community and sharing ideas. There's the multimedia stuff that we're doing, but also a lot of people like to just meet locally. And the European countries where they're closer in range and geographically, they do meet. And so it's a way for our international community to really reach out to a variety of countries. So as I said, we've got 14 ambassadors, and we meet every second month for about an hour on a Zoom meeting to share ideas and talk about what we're doing in the different countries. There's 11 countries that have ambassadors, but we're looking for ambassadors. Countries that have a large population, like Brazil and Italy, it'd be great to get representatives from those countries, just to hear what's going on and have a local person that we can put somebody in contact with if they're looking for somebody. As we said, we've got, I think the numbers increased since the first slide. The 256 was when I wrote this slide, but we are getting people all the time joining our group. And we have 33 countries. So you can see we have a really international, FOXP1 is international. And you sign up through the Join Us page. And it's all about establishing community. And also finding people that speak your same language, because the ambassadors, there's a variety of languages they speak. So there's a web page with all the ambassadors listed. And if they speak one of the other languages than their home language, so that people can talk to people in their own language and help understand. Even though the website is translated into 8 languages through Google Translate, it may not give the understanding that everybody wants to, by speaking to somebody in their own language. One of the successes, like the group in Holland, there was a large community there, and they were well actually established before we established the International Foundation. But they have in their own right done fundraising and have 3 research projects happening in Holland on their own. So that shows you what countries can do on their own. So as I said, Brazil, Denmark, and Italy, there's members there, and it'd be great to find ambassadors to represent and share with the international community what they're doing. Great, thank you.
Thanks, Gail. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Chris to walk through a couple of slides on the Scientific Advisory Board.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Carl. I think it was about over a year ago, Carl really spearheaded the idea of putting together a scientific advisory board for the foundation. Carl and I have science backgrounds, and I think a couple other folks associated with the committee with the foundation as well. But for the most part, we're just parents, and we really wanted to start to bring together experts in the field to kind of take a look at the recent literature and research and to do some other things. So Carl Carl, Cheryl and I kind of brainstormed or did some research around to try to identify different individuals and then began the process of reaching out. And I'll say we had a pretty ambitious list when we started out, some really impressive names on the list. And I was a bit skeptical that, we would be able to get many of their time for this kind of commitment. But I have to say I was really surprised and delighted with the enthusiasm that just about everybody responded with. And we have an outstanding scientific advisory board, including many PhDs listed here. It's just really, it's an amazing group thinking about FOXP1 and our kids and the implications. And so the names are listed here: Dr. Anna Kostick, Dr. Annette Schenk, Cora Taylor, David Amaral, Evan Eichler, Genevieve Konopka, Gudrun Rapopol, Jacqueline Crawley, and Siddharth Srivastava. So we meet just about quarterly or thereabouts. And our meetings typically begin with kind of we like to update them with what we're doing as a foundation and the types of activities that we're up to. And then we discuss a number of things and try to get the advice and counsel from the scientific advisory board. So the main responsibilities and community facing activities are listed here. You can see they're taking a look at research and papers that are coming out, and we have discussion during the SAB meetings. We're bending their ears about sources of funding and different ways to interact with the community. One of the most important activities of the SAB is we're trying to kind of get official recognition of FOXP1 syndrome as a condition. It's really it's kind of it's relatively new. So a doctor that works with a family that has genetic testing, we want that doctor to be able to find a definitive resource and information about FOXP1, people with FOXP1 deficiency. So the SAB is working with us on that front, and they're really taking the initiative and driving that on pretty much independently of our meetings. And then in addition, we do have some SAB member participation in some of the monthly Zoom meetings, so keep an eye out for that. If there's a particular expert that you want to hear what they're working on, the types of research they're doing, and I think I can't remember if any of them are coming to the meeting, or I think at least a couple of them are coming to the family gathering. But I'll let we can discuss that in the gathering section later on. But that's it.
Great, thank you, Chris.
Yep.
So Adam, our treasurer, is going to give us a quick summary of where we landed at the end of the year and what kind of progress we made along the way in terms of fundraising and stewardship of the money that's been donated.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. So just as some context, in 2021, we raised almost $20,000. And this past year, we did significantly better. We had almost 200 individual donations come in, and we raised a little over $70,000, as you can see there. As Kate mentioned, we had several fundraisers that were pretty successful. The most successful one was the 5K run fundraiser that we did. I think it was back September-ish. But that was specifically designed to raise funding for the conference that we're having this coming June. And yeah, it raised around $27,000 for us, which was great. We had some young young kids that were gracious enough to ask people to donate to the foundation as part of their mitzvah projects. There were kids that are related to some members on our board, and those fundraisers were very successful. Raised about $10,000. I think there was 2 different ones. We had a bracelet sale that raised a couple $1,000s for us. And, we're keeping the expenses, pretty low at this point. We had less than $4,000 in expenses. There was legal expenses for the trademarking of our logo, some accounting expenses, reimbursing some of the foundation members that had put out money to, purchase, for instance, the bracelets, some expenses on the website and things like that. So, as a new foundation, I don't have a lot of context, I guess, because I'm not involved with any other foundations like this, but I think we've done pretty well just mainly by word of mouth to raise money for the foundation, and we're sitting in a pretty good place right now just because we really don't have many expenses, and all the people on the board are volunteering their time to run the foundation. Just recently, we did open a brokerage account for the foundation. We've had one individual that was interested in donating stock to the foundation, so we opened the brokerage account, and we actually have received that stock donation just this past week. So I will throw that out there to everybody on the call that if that is of interest to you or someone that we do have that ability now to accept stock donations for the foundation. So plans for 2023, I think we're going to kind of continue our social media presence and try to be a little bit more successful with some of the online fundraising efforts around Rare Disease Day or Giving Tuesday or end of the year donations. As Kate said, we did apply for a grant through PCORI this past year. We were not successful, but I think that through that effort, hopefully we'll be successful with a future grant application. We have followed up with PCORI and talked to them about what we are doing as a foundation, what we want to do, and how we might be able to reapply for a future grant application and be successful. There's also opportunities through NIH, National Institute of Health, but as the treasurer, and I guess the only one really on the fundraising board, although everybody is helping obviously with the fundraising, our limitations are just our time, to write grant applications and to find opportunities to get funding. So yeah, we will really just reach out to the community as a whole and say if this is something that interests you, let us know, and we are all ears and happy to accept outside help to try to secure more funding. And then merchandise sales, like the bracelets, we'll probably try to continue with that, whether it's t-shirts or magnets or whatever it might be. It might seem minuscule, but I think those can add up and be helpful for us. Anticipated expenditures this year, the biggest one obviously is going to be the family gathering and conference that we're having in June. We are putting some funding aside for helping families with travel to the conference that are coming internationally. The actual expenditures for the conference, I'm not sure that we know what that's going to be exactly yet until we close the reservations and know how many people are coming. Gail can probably speak to that better than I can. I think we have a ballpark idea right now, but registration is still open, so we're anticipating a few more people that will be RSVPing, but yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
For the conference, because I'm coming from BC, so I'm coming from quite far. and, you know, starting to look at flight times and whatnot. And I called the hotel for the Fox group rate, but they're only honoring it for the days of the conference. And I wasn't sure, like I have to come in the day before just because of the way the flights work to get all the way over there. How does that work? Like, is it possible to add, like,
Yes.
I don't know, to get the group rate to apply, because they weren't able to do that for me. And the
So,
rate
Julie,
was like $100 more.
So Julie,
Whoa.
that became aware of that. And so they have now, and it's on the website now, they have now expanded that group rate, and it starts on the 19th of June, which is Monday, and it goes until Saturday, the 24th.
Oh,
So you-
perfect.
So call them up again now,
Right.
give them your reservation number and expand so you can come in the day before.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's awesome. Because I was like, well, that's a big price difference. If it's
It
not-
is. And we also saw that they originally only had single beds, like queen beds, and now they have two double beds rooms. So we, through process eliminate, trial and error, we found some mistakes, and so we've improved and they've fixed them for us. So you can get a room with 2 beds or 1 bed, and from the 19th to the 24th.
Awesome. Then I will give them a call. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that question. Oh, Adam, I had a question for you. Is it how does one donate appreciated stock? Are there instructions that we could share with the community?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing, Carl, would be to just have anybody who's interested in doing that reach out to me. I can put my email in the chat, but yeah, there's, I have to provide our account number and DTC number and different things like that. But the donation that went through just this past week seemed to happen fairly seamlessly. So yeah, if anybody is interested in doing that, just reach out to me. My email's in the chat and I can walk you through the process.
Thank you, Adam. Okay. That's it for the financial report, Adam?
That's it. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Thank you for this excellent update. All right. I'm going to switch gears now. So that sort of concludes the review of 22. And now we're going to dive into a couple of the big ongoing activities that some of the subcommittees have been working on that are going to play out in 2023. And the first one is the data collection program, and Susan Cardillo is going to walk us through some of the updates and important information regarding that.
Okay. Hi again, everybody. This is started last spring, the data collection program, which is we're using the RareX platform. And we have been, very successful with a large enrollment. Actually, in the last few days, we have increased it to 123 families from 20 different countries, and half of them being from the US and the rest being from the other countries globally around the world. And in case anyone is not familiar with what the program is, it's a way of collecting and organizing our children's data and having it organized so we see the characteristics of the syndrome and see the natural history of how things change over time. We have been so successful that we are one of the top 3 rare disease communities from RareX and in our enrollment numbers. So we have a great chance in their data research challenge, which you've also, I'm sure, read about on Facebook and on the website, to compete in, since we have so many who have participated. And that is basically a contest or a competition to have researchers reach out and examine and see our data and see our children. And those communities with the largest enrollment have the biggest chance to be successful in winning this challenge, which at the end will RareX will be offering substantial grants to do research. So that is our prime focus, is to get everybody to enroll. And one of the glitches, though, that I really want to take a little time in discussing is that the way the uploading of your genetic report is the first thing you have to do after enrollment, and many people have been finding that confusing, not only from our community, but from all of their communities hosted by RareX. So I want to point out that once you enroll, you should watch the videos that are posted on our foundation's website and on Facebook. And if you want to find them easily on the website of the foundation, or you could do a search on Facebook for my name, and you'll see that I posted them. One Carl and his son Jonah was so gracious in doing is a good one, which he shows like in 5 minutes how to upload the genetic report. And then there's another one that's presented by Carmen from RareX, who is the scientific director. And I have to say they're very helpful. So of the 123 who have enrolled, I had only 3 people have uploaded their genetic report. So guys, if you have enrolled, and I'm sure most of you have, just check that you did it properly and that you followed through and have that done. If there's any question, you could get in touch with RareX. They have a great support team. They'll get back to that. You can get in touch with me. My email is on the website, and we can help with any questions you have about that. So that's our main initiative. I think for the whole foundation last year, kicking that off, and we will continue. It's a process and it takes time. We need the genetic report uploaded, and then after you do that, you need to get those level 2 surveys, which are the head to toe surveys, and then you will get emails with the more specific surveys based on the answers to your questions. When I say surveys, I mean questionnaires. I think it's clear to look at the videos. I mean, it's just a matter of following the directions, going to the dashboard, logging in, searching for your report, opening the report, and then you just upload it and save it. So this is great what's been going on. We've been doing terrific. Most rare disease communities are not where we are in such a short time. We have a lot of committed people, and we have a great international presence of people doing it also. If you have any questions, reach out, please. This is important because we have some by the end of February. They want the genetic reports all uploaded. They are, as they say, curating it now, which is like a cleaning process or a kind of looking at it to make sure it's done properly. And by the end of March, they want all the surveys need to be completed. It takes time, but you could do a little at a time. You could do one survey or questionnaire and then come back to it at another time. But the first thing is to get those genetic reports uploaded. And again, the videos are very helpful in making it clear what is a genetic report. Basically, it's specific. It's not your doctor's letter of a diagnosis. It's a specific report. So reach out if you have questions. I'm here to help, and all of us are. So I think that covers it.
Susan, can I add a comment? This is Carl.
Sure.
So Molly in the chat had indicated that it feels pretty personal to upload a genetics report. And I'd like to make a couple of comments about the why and the how. So the overall, the data collection program is a very valuable undertaking because it centralizes some information about our kids and what kinds of, characteristics occur in the community. And that's really important for helping researchers understand more about the syndrome. But the genetic report is super duper important because different individuals present differently. We know that not every Fox kid is identical. There are a lot of similarities, but there's also differences. And a big unknown question biologically is whether mutations at this part of the gene trigger a certain, flavor of FOXP syndrome compared to mutations in that part of the gene. And the genetic report specifically identifies which little bit of the gene is mutated or which chunk is missing or, what have you. And being able to map the characteristics of an individual to the specific mutation and then group those findings by, across individuals by the kind of mutation that you have is really an important way to identify if there are subtypes of the syndrome. This is something that's proven to be extremely valuable, like in the cystic fibrosis field and the Duchenne muscular dystrophy field. There are specific drugs out there for DMD that only work for people that have mutations in this part of the gene, and some other drugs that only work for people with mutations in that part of the gene. And the two don't cross. And so knowing how the mutations map over to characteristics of the disease is like one of the first steps to ever having the scientific insights to eventually develop drugs. As to the question about personal aspects, absolutely, it is a very sensitive piece of information. One of the reasons that we chose RareX as a platform is that they have that curation process where a genetic counselor will interpret the report and enter that specific little piece of data that we need, which is like where in the gene is the mutation, and enter that into the database. After that, the genetic report is not needed. And I believe that there is a way to request that the report be deleted once it's been curated. Susan, do you know about that? I know we've talked about that, but that may be a way to balance the value of getting the information with the desire to really not share such personal information permanently. So Susan, have we been able to identify the specific mechanism, like requesting that the report be deleted after it's been interpreted?
Looks like she may not be on anymore.
Yeah, she
May
had
have
problems
lost
with
her.
the internet. Oh,
Yeah,
there we are.
is that me? I'm sorry,
Hi.
it's in and out. What was, I missed the last 3 minutes of your, what you said.
Oh, sorry, the question was just in response to Molly's comment in the chat that uploading a genetic report feels like it's a pretty personal thing to be sharing with, unknown aggregators of data. So after the genetic counselor interprets the genetic report and enters that specific piece of information regarding the location of the mutation, that's the only thing that's needed from the report. Some people would like to ensure that the copy of the report that's uploaded is then deleted once it's been interpreted and curated. Can you speak to that?
I have asked that question and they said that it's saved on your dashboard, but I will bring that up that some people would like it deleted from their dashboard, I assume is what you're saying.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
the data point, really all it's needed is that one little data point. And that may be a way to sort of ease people's privacy concerns and increase uptake or, uploading.
Yeah, and this is Kate, and I don't think we specifically mentioned it, but when you do actually go in to sign up for RareX, they ask you questions about what level of sharing you want to do with respect to your data. So there are certain things that you can opt out of, and some that you can opt in, so that if you're feeling like you want more security, you may not opt into allowing more researchers or other organizations to have your information.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
So before we move on, I'll just make sure, Susan, is that the end of the section on the data collection program?
Yes. I just wanted to also add that, I'm a grandparent, of Ayla and brother, sister-in-law, a mother-in-law of Adam Geller and mom of Lauren. But, I want to reach out to other grandparents and all the parents because, we all have different skills, but you don't need specific skills to volunteer and help out. There's so many things that we need help with, and we'll find a place if you want to reach out and volunteer. There's a lot to do, and if we all put, more energy into it, it's appreciated. And so I reach out to the grandparents too. I mean, it's given me a great deal of satisfaction, feeling like I'm doing something. And, you know, it's sitting around and doing nothing. It's not a good feeling. So please, you know, reach out to me, reach out to the foundation, all of us. We want you involved. We're a small group and we need your help. So that covers my end of it.
Okay. Okay, I'm just looking at the time here too. I'm going to hand it over to the Gail, I believe, to talk about the in-person family gathering. Gail, Susan, and Caroline.
Hi. So we're organizing our next family gathering. It's this already, it's within a few months, June the 21st until the 23rd, not in Long Island, New York, just outside of Manhattan. We chose that location because it's close to the Seaver Institute, which does a lot of our research, and our guest speakers are coming from there. So we wanted to make it easier. It's also close to JFK and LaGuardia, so air flight is easy to get in and out of. But we did choose, we're not hosting the conference in a hotel because it was the expense of it. We are in the Irish American Hall, so we are going to do our own catering, and we're really trying to manage the cost that way. So I'm really excited about it. The registrations are happening. They're coming in. We right now have 22 families with approximately 40 adults and 35 children, of which that includes siblings, which about 17 of the people will be Fox, or our Fox kids. And since I have a son who's one of the eldest in the group, I'm really pleased to see that there's other people with adult children coming, 20 and 30-year-olds. So that's going to be really exciting. And some of the kids that were there at the last gathering in 2019 are now in their teens, and well, so we're having a more mature group, and it's really great to see how FOXP1 kids are growing and maturing and continuing to learn. When we went to the 2019 conference that was in New York, that Carl and Susan organized, and Adam, my husband and I, we just received our son's diagnosis. He was 32 at the time. And we found it so beneficial to network and meet each other, and to see other families and other kids. I was blown away by the similarities of behavior and traits that our kids all had. Now, my son I could look at the younger children and I could remember what my Daryl was like at that time. And it's just amazing the similarities. Not that they're all similar, because there's variances, as we know, but there's still common behavior traits that I saw. So, and networking with the families, and then the researchers also. The researchers come and they are going to be making themselves available for us to talk with and chat with. So we'll have a very day and a half with be able to talk and meet with people. So the schedule, just going to kick off the schedule there. Whoops. Adam, did you change your screen? We all can see your screen. So the schedule is, you got to flip it there, family gathering. Okay, so we kick off Thursday night. It's going to be, sorry, let me say that again. Wednesday between 4 and 8 p.m. is a meet and greet. And this is an opportunity to meet, register, and we're inviting researchers to display their poster boards on research projects that are in progress right now. And it's to see what's happening. And there are projects happening in Holland and Australia, and some in the States on FOXP1 that may not, because there's a lot of research being done on FOXP1 in a variety of areas, not just on child behavior, but our focus for the conference is family. So, but we're still we're inviting the researchers to show all their research that's happening in the FOXP1 area. Then on Thursday is our full day, and it is starting off at 8:15 in the morning with some breakfast, and we're providing childcare for all of our children, adult children as well. And it's going to be, and food is provided, breakfast, light breakfast, full lunch, supper is included. Our guest speakers, most exciting is Dr. Alex Kolovan. Correct me as I say this wrong. Kolovan. He is the clinical director in Seaver Autism, and he is he was key in getting our FOXP1 research started, and I believe was at our last conference. He'll be talking and speaking on medication and on genetics. And Dr. Ruth Braden, who is from Melbourne, Australia, she did a research paper on speech, and all of their research articles are posted on our website, so you can read them. And Dr. Cord Taylor, who's also part of our scientific advisory board, is be presenting and talking about behavior and puberty, and her specialty is on child behavior. I used to call it behavior management, but the younger families now, they got a new phrase for it. So we're going to have some great speakers in the morning that break for lunch. Then we're going to have breakout groups, and the breakout groups are being determined by those of you that are registering, and the topics that are getting the most interest. We'll have about 4 or 5 breakout groups simultaneously, as well as one for siblings, because I believe it's important for siblings of people with special needs to also have an area to share their ideas and their concerns and their feelings. And that is, each of the breakout groups will be headed by specialists in the area. There will be, and the childcare is all free, provided by experienced teachers. The meals are all included. And then Friday is going to be a day of fun and relaxation at Susan's daughter's home. She is in Long Island. The other opportunity is to participate in research with the Seaver Institute. And we've come to the conclusion that they won't be coming to the center to do the testing, but I'm providing them a full list of everybody who's registered, and they are going to be contacting the families that they have not seen before, and they are going to be speaking with you directly and asking if you would come to. They do look for doing blood sampling, because that's how they do genetic research. And Carl can speak more to that if you have questions about that. The other thing they're looking, Dr. Page and Tess are in the midst of doing a study on post-puberty. So they are looking for any new candidates to contribute to that study that they're doing. So being in the Long Island, Manhattan area, it's a 30-minute hour train ride down to Seaver Center. So they will be contacting you directly if you are new to their. And is there another slide, Carl? Yeah, just as I talked about, the hotels, Marriott Hotel is offering us a rate from the 19th to the 24th, train rides to the airports in downtown Manhattan. There's other attractions available. Children's Museum is in the area, there's beaches and more, and we'll provide a list of other attractions on the website. And we are providing funding for people who are needing assistance to travel. We understand the cost and the expense of it, but we've done fundraising, and we're looking to help bring families to the conference so that we can have more families connecting with our network. And if you would like some financial assistance, please reach out to Carolyn directly. And this is all on the registration form that has her email also. So think about that. There's a full page with all this information on the website. We're going to be adding more information about train schedules and other activities in the area. And the idea, and the registration is open. It will close on the 10th of April. So please register and come and meet the families and network. Nothing like the face-to-face. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to hand it over to Caroline to briefly summarize what we're looking to accomplish, other things that we're hoping to accomplish in 2023.
Yeah, and I'll make this quick because I know we want some time for questions. So 2023, we're just basically hoping to do everything bigger and better and raise more money. Pretty much everything everybody's already talked about, we're going to be doing in 2023 throughout the year. The monthly Zoom calls, ambassador program, the newsletter, the SAB, the scientific advisory board meetings. We're really hoping to promote Rare Disease Day, Giving Tuesday, t-shirt sales, fundraising. We're going to do the virtual 5K again this year, and hopefully, have a bigger goal. So So be on the lookout for that, and we'll explain more about that when the time comes. Rare X, like Susan said, very important for our community to get research involved. So we're going to be continuing to promote that. And the family gathering is one of our biggest things. And I can say from experience in 2019 that my daughter's 5. So when we went, I think she was, what would it have been, like 2 years oldish. And it was amazing. And I met Susan, and I met Gail, and I met Carl, and it was awesome. So also, if you have any skills you want to add to our foundation, or time, or your money, if you want to donate, please make sure to reach out. And we're here for you. We're the biggest advocates for our community and our kids. So we're all volunteers, and we are all here to try and find out more about FOXP1 and be here for all of you. So that is 2023.
Thank you. It's going to be a good year. Okay, so we have a few minutes left in the hour. I thought we would open it up to the floor for any questions that folks may have of the members of the board as to what we're planning, what we've accomplished, what we hope to accomplish, anything else. And if you want to just come off mute, you can ask the question, or you can type your question into the chat. Okay, well, I'm going to start off with a question out to the community while people are thinking.
Hello.
Oh, yes, please go ahead, Manuel.
Actually, I was not going to ask a question, but I just wanted to use the opportunity to thank you guys for all the stuff that you're doing on behalf of us parents and ambassadors. And because I see there's a lot of work going into it. You guys have most of you, I think all of you, have a special needs child as well. You got lots of stuff going on, and I'm really impressed with what you've accomplished. Our son got diagnosed about 2 years ago, and that is the first thing I found was that video of that conference from 2019. And I watched all the 5 hours that were recorded, and I was really impressed, and it got me up to speed. And now I'm really, really impressed, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to give to the community in this fashion for us. So thank you. I am interested in hearing from folks that are online as to other things that we may not be thinking about that we could add to the to-do list, things that you think we need to be doing to help strengthen the community or furthering the research or whatever. So please, we don't know everything. We need additional ideas. So please feel free to chime in if you have anything that you want to add now, or email us afterwards.
Carl, I'd just like to throw in, email us at info@foxp1.org. It's a great way to email us. And Cheryl Finney, you volunteered as a grandparent, great. And if you could send us an email to info@foxp1.org, then we will have your email, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to additional expertise, perspectives, pairs of hands. There's a lot to get done, and only so many hours in the day, so all volunteers are welcome.
Hi,
Go ahead. Yes.
Sorry, my name's Lauren. I'm here with my husband, Jim, and our daughter is 30 years old, and she was just diagnosed a couple of weeks ago. And we are thrilled to find out about you guys, and we can't wait to meet you all and get involved. I was wondering if you had like a directory put together of your members.
Interesting. So go ahead, Gail. I think you can speak
So
with authority.
we have to protect everybody's email address. So we don't have a published list, but we do have a list of the 268 members. When you sign up on the Join Us page and you put in your email address, so we have that list of it, and that is the list that the newsletter uses and distributes out onto. So we have an email distribution list that is in our website database and is protected. We don't publish it because we protect everybody's email and privacy that way. But we do connect people. If you say you live in city X and you would like to find somebody locally, then the ambassadors can search the database and find other people in the same city or the same state as you or the same country. And then we can coordinate and share contacts. If you agree, they agree, then we share email that way. So we have ways of working around it without publishing the list.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Lauren, welcome to the community. It's good timing that you found us so soon after the diagnosis. And I'm sure it must be an interesting situation / relief to get this diagnosis when your child's 30 years old. That's similar to Gail and Lauren's experience with their son.
It is indescribable. I can't even, I still haven't come down from the high of finding out, like, wow, after 30 years, like, this is just awesome.
That's good. Yeah. We waited 8 or 10 years, I forget, but that's only a fraction of 30. So, well, if you are able to come to the conference, we can have all sorts of time together, in fellowship, basically, and networking. Several folks on the call today have made reference to the meeting in 2019. That was the first one in the US. There have been at least 2 in France. And the one in the US was the first one on this side of the pond. And it was a fabulous experience. A lot of people were meeting other FOXP1 families for the first time. And before that meeting, were living lives of isolation. So it's a really important way to build community. Go ahead.
We've already registered.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, I look forward to meeting you in person.
We're debating about, this is just like technicalities, but is there an advantage to having a car there? Or like, if we could either fly or drive, and just not sure whether one would be advisable over the other.
Having a car would be an advantage because the hotel and where the conference site is a 15-minute drive, 10-15-minute drive. No, it's not walkable because there's wide roads. But we are looking to find a shuttle system. We are looking to find a way to move a group of people from the hotel to the conference center and back again at the end of the day. So, and then Friday we're going up to a home for more fellowship and more family fun. Again, it's just convenient that way. And then also, if you are so new to it, Seaver Center would be interested in, you'll be one of the people that be contacting you very well and asking to come in and meet you. So you might want to. So it's your choice also. You can use the train to get down to Manhattan. So
thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone, for your time today. It's been a pleasure serving you in the wider community and the board. And for everyone that can make it to New York this summer, I look forward to meeting you in person. And if you're on the fence, don't forget about that travel fund that we've established to help make this more feasible for families that are traveling from a distance. And again, I'll just say one last time, if you have any other questions or comments and follow up, you can contact us at info@foxp1.org. And then Adam had previously put his specific FOXP1 email address in the chat for anyone that might want to inquire about direct stock donations to the foundation.
And
okay, well,
I'm happy to stay on if anyone wants to just chat. I know that we have our usual monthly Zoom chat at this time, so I'm happy to stay on for another 30 minutes or so. Gail, did you send out a separate link or is it this same link?
it's the same link.
Okay.
So we can just extend it.
Great. So if you want to stay on and chat, that would be great. If not, thanks for joining us.